And when they start doing the scan and looking through the genetic makeup of Axel, they see that there are traces of a tracker or anything that leads back to a mega corporation that the CEO's name is John Aaron. I wonder at what point I'm just going to break it.
As Stormy and Fund complete the scan, the results flash on a nearby holoscreen. Stormy whistles a sharp mechanical sound. Hoo boy, Axel, you've got a corporate signature all over you. This tracker, straight out of John Aaron's playbook. That guy's like a digital parasite with a superiority complex. Fund leans forward, squinting at the data. This makes sense. Aaron's obsession with data and AI means he's likely tracking you for some experimental purpose.
What?
But why you specifically? And wait, they pause, pointing to a section of the readout. Is this real? He's using his army to steal watermelons and frosted flakes? What is he, a supervillain with a grocery list? Stormy cackles, her mechanical wings fluttering. Hey, it's not about the snacks. It's about power. Or maybe he's just trying to corner the breakfast market. Either way, this tracker's bad news, Axel. If we don't disable it, he'll always know where you are.
The reason he might be after me is because he's obsessed with me and my voice. And I think that he wants to steal it for himself.
Axel's words make everyone pause. Stormy tilts her head again, her glowing eyes narrowing. Well, that's a new one. Obsessing over your voice. Sounds like Aaron's gone from tech mogul to creepy fanboy. If he wants to steal your voice, it's not just about control, it's about identity. Fund leans back in their chair, a frown creasing their face. Makes sense, though. If he's feeding all this data to AI, having a voice like yours would be another weapon in his arsenal. Imagine AI systems with your voice, Axel, charming their way into people's lives. Or worse, issuing commands to that army he's building. Ellie nods, her expression grim. We have to block this tracker now. If he gets your voice, he could use it for anything. Manipulation, infiltration, you name it. Stormy flutters closer to the hollow screen. All right, Axel, you've got options. I can disable the tracker entirely, but that'll alert Aaron that you're onto him. Or we can spoof it, make him think you're somewhere else while we figure out our next move. Your call, feathered friend. She chuckles. Woo's ready to throw a wrench in Aaron's plans?
This fucking owl says woo instead of who. Stormy, I want you to disable the tracker as long as it doesn't affect my Latin lover voice.
Stormy lets out a sharp, mechanical laugh, her glowing eyes flashing with amusement. Oh, don't worry, Axel. Your smooth-talking Latin lover voice is safe with me. I wouldn't dare mess with your moneymaker. She flutters over to the hollow console and begins tapping away, her claws clicking against the keys.
Moneymaker.
All right, disabling the tracker is a delicate process. If I cut the wrong circuit, it might fry the vocal pathways tied to your genetic signature. But hey, no pressure, right? Fund rolls their eyes. Could you be less dramatic, Stormy? Just get it done. Stormy snickers. Fine, fine. Here we go. The screen flickers as lines of code scroll rapidly. The hum of the equipment rises, and for a moment, the room holds its breath. Then, with a soft beep, the screen flashes green. Tracker disabled, and your golden voice is untouched, Stormy announces proudly, puffing out her chest. John Aaron won't know where you are anymore, or at least not through this little gizmo, but don't be surprised if he sends some of his goons sniffing around. Obsessions don't just go away. Ellie grins, patting Axel on the back. Looks like you're free, for now. What's our next move, Bubblegum?
Well, now John Aaron is going to know that the tracker has been disabled. Do any of you have any ideas of what we can do to keep me safe?
Stormy clicks her beak thoughtfully, her mechanical feathers shifting like gears. Well, Axel, if Aaron's as obsessed as you say, disabling the tracker will definitely ruffle his feathers. He'll send someone or something after you. We need to make it harder for him to find you and maybe even give him a wild goose chase. Fund adjusts their glasses, already typing on the console. I can create a false signal using the old tracker's data. We'll make it look like you're bouncing between locations across the city. Keep his goons running in circles. It'll buy you time to figure out your next steps. Ellie nods, her arms crossed as she thinks. And while they're chasing their tails, You should focus on finding out why Aaron's so fixated on you. There's got to be more to this than just your voice. Stormy flutters closer to Axel, her glowing eyes narrowing. And we're going to need allies. Who, boy? People you trust who can help cover your tracks and fight back if it comes to that. You can't go up against Aaron alone, no matter how charming your voice is.
I think we should let P-Fun do the false trail with the tracker, while Ellie and the rest of us, we can find some of our allies. I can get in communication with my friend Light. She has the ability to send out a pulse of electromagnetic waves that shuts down certain electronics and cybernetic enhancements around us. That might keep me safe.
Fund nods, already working on the console. All right, I'll get the false trail up and running. By the time Aaron's goons figure out the signals are fake, you'll be long gone. Ellie adjusts her gear, her cybernetic elbows clicking into place. Good plan, Bubblegum. Let's reach out to Light. If she can pulse those electromagnetic waves, it might buy us more than just time. It'll give us a real edge. Ellie pats Axel on the shoulder. Let's get moving before Aaron's army of frosted flake thieves catches wind of you again.
The army of frosted flake thieves. Oh, fuck. This story is fucking great, guys. I tap on my communication unit implant and contact Light.
A moment later, a voice crackles to life in his ear, sharp, steady, and unmistakably Light's. Axel, what's going on? She asks, her tone equal parts curiosity and concern. Light, I need your help, Axel replies, keeping his voice calm but urgent. John Aaron's after me. He's got some kind of obsession, and it's tied to a tracker they embedded in my DNA. We disabled it, but now he knows I'm onto him. I need you and your EMP abilities to help keep me safe, and maybe even take the fight to him. There's a brief pause before Light responds, her voice firm. You know I've got your back, Axel. Where do you need me, and what's the plan?
I can stop by with Jester to pick you up if you are available.
Light chuckles softly, a hint of amusement in her voice. Jester's still your driver? All right, Axel, I'm available. Swing by my place and I'll be ready. Just make sure Jester doesn't crash us into anything before we get there. Her tone turns serious. If Aaron's involved, we need to move fast. I'll bring some gear to amplify the EMP if we need it. See you soon. The line goes quiet and Ellie glances over at Axel, smirking. Sounds like Light's ready to roll. Let's hope Jester can handle this one without turning us into a bumper car ride.
All right, we continue to pick up Light, and when Light gets into the vehicle, I ask her questions about what she's been up to and all of the things. However, there is somebody of interest that I need to get in touch with. It's one of John Aaron's mortal enemies. Her name is Pop-Tarts, and Light probably knows where I can find her.
Light raises an eyebrow, a smirk playing on her lips. Pop-Tarts, huh? She's a tough one to track down, but yeah, I've got an idea where she might be. Last I heard, she was holed up in one of the city's abandoned server farms, running her own little war against Aaron's network. She doesn't trust many people, though. You're going to need more than just charm to get her on board. Ellie leans forward, intrigued. Abandoned server farm? Sounds like a dangerous place to hang out. Light nods. Dangerous is kind of her style. You sure you're ready to approach someone like Pop-Tarts, Axel? She's not exactly subtle.
I think I have to be ready. I think I have no other option but to be ready. So yeah.
Light nods, her expression softening slightly. Fair enough, Axel. If anyone can handle Pop-Tarts, it's you. But just know she's not the type to trust easily. You'll need to prove you're not another one of Aaron's pawns. Jester's voice crackles through the comm system, monotone but oddly reassuring. Destination set for abandoned server farm. Estimated arrival time unclear due to potential collisions.
Damn,
the vehicle
Jester
hums as it picks up speed, weaving through the neon-lit city streets toward the outskirts. The tension in the air is palpable, but the team is ready. Pop-Tarts awaits, and with her, maybe the key to taking down John Aaron.
As soon as we arrive, I walk up to the building and I ring on the doorbell, knowing that she's watching us through the cameras. Pop-Tarts, I would like to talk to you, if possible.
The building looms before Axel and the group. Its once pristine facade now weathered and cracked, covered in overgrowth and graffiti. The faint hum of electricity emanates from within, a reminder that this place is far from abandoned. Cameras swivel to track their every move, their mechanical eyes glinting in the dim light. Axel presses the buzzer, his voice steady. Pop-Tarts, I would like to talk to you if possible.
Oh, your
There's a tense
secrets.
silence broken only by the faint crackle of static. Then a voice comes through the speaker, sharp, wary, but with a hint of mischief. Axel Voss, the infamous voice, you've got my attention but not my trust. What do you want, and why shouldn't I assume Aaron sent you? Light crosses her arms, muttering under her breath. Classic Pop-Tarts. Ellie smirks but stays quiet, watching Axel for his response.
I'm not here for Aaron. I'm here because I need to be against Aaron. I have reasons to believe that he put a tracker in me and that he's hunting me down. And I don't know of a better option than you to help me defeat him.
There's a long pause on the other end of the intercom, filled with a faint crackle of static. The camera above the door tilts slightly, focusing directly on Axel. Then Pop-Tart's voice returns, laced with suspicion but tinged with curiosity. Against Aaron, huh? That's a dangerous game to play, Axel. He doesn't take kindly to people slipping out of his grasp. So what makes you think I'd risk my operation to help you? Convince me and maybe I'll let you in. Ellie leans closer, whispering, she's testing you, Bubblegum. Be straight with her, or clever. She likes bold moves. Light nods, staying quiet. Her presence a silent reminder that Axel isn't alone in this. The cameras remain fixed, waiting for his reply.
I think that you will help me because I have something that I know that you would appreciate. I have an entire collection of feet pictures that I would love to add to your collection, and it's probably something that you wouldn't be able to find in the shadow markets. What do you say?
There's a beat of silence before Pop-Tarts responds, her voice suddenly sharp with interest. Feet pictures? You mean the kind I've been scouring the shadow markets for?
Of course.
Rare ones. The door's speaker crackles slightly as if she's suppressing a chuckle. All right, Axel, you've got my attention. If you're telling the truth and you're holding something that rare, I'm willing to hear you out. But if you're bluffing, don't expect me to play nice. With a loud clank, the heavy steel door in front of you slides open a few inches, revealing a dimly lit hallway. Pop-Tart's voice cuts through again. Come on in. Just you, though. I don't trust your entourage. Ellie raises an eyebrow but stays quiet while Light nods, her stance protective. We'll be waiting, Light mutters. Be careful, Axel.
As the door comes open and I am allowed in, the rest of the group stays back. I am met with a large, giant, mechanical bear whose name is Grizzly, and he is there to escort me to Pop-Tarts.
Standing before him is a towering mechanical bear, Grizzly. Its metallic frame gleams faintly and the hum of servos fills the air as it moves. Its glowing red eyes lock onto Axel. Grizzly's deep synthetic voice rumbles. Follow me. No funny business. The bear turns with surprising grace for its size, leading Axel down the narrow corridor. Sitting at a sleek desk in the center, surrounded by a fortress of tech, is Pop-Tarts. She leans back in her chair, one eyebrow raised as she eyes Axel and Grizzly. Welcome to my little sanctuary, Axel. Let's see if you're as interesting as you claim to be.
As I stand there in front of Pop-Tarts, the bodyguard, Grizzly, stands behind us as he randomly hums and whistles show tunes in the background. I promise that I have what I offered.
Pop-Tarts leans forward, her piercing eyes locking onto Axel, her fingers tapping rhythmically on the desk. Behind them, Grizzly's deep, mechanical humming of a slightly off-key show tune fills the room, adding an odd, surreal backdrop to the tension.
Slightly off-key.
All right, Axel, Pop-Tart says, her voice sharp but intrigued. You've got my attention. If you really have what you promised, let's see it. But if you're wasting my time, Grizzly might just debut his Phantom of the Opera routine. Grizzly chimes in with a low whistle that morphs into a theatrical hum, causing Pop-Tarts to shoot him a quick glare. Not now, Grizz. She shifts her gaze back to Axel. So let's hear it. What makes your offer worth my while, and why should I risk crossing Aaron to help you?
As she asks, Axel basically removes a memory chip that he has that's currently plugged into a socket in his arm. He removes the memory card and passes it over to Pop-Tarts. There is what I offered, and I promise you that everything is there. You can plug it in right now and see for yourself.
Pop-Tarts narrows her eyes as Axel hands her the memory chip, her fingers brushing against its surface with an almost reverent touch. She studies it for a moment, her curiosity visibly piqued. Well, Axel, you weren't bluffing, were you? She swivels her chair around to face a nearby terminal, deftly inserting the memory chip into a port. Now tell me, what exactly do you want from me in exchange for this treasure trove?
What do you know about John Aaron? I know that you two are arch enemies and that you would do anything to take him down. I have reasons to believe that he's after me and that he wants to steal my voice. What can I do to stop this from happening?
John Aaron, she begins, her tone dark and measured, is a tech-obsessed megalomaniac with a god complex. He doesn't just want to control systems, he wants to control people. Stealing your voice fits perfectly into his playbook. He'd use it to manipulate, infiltrate, and dominate. If he gets what he wants, you're not just losing your voice, Axel, you're losing your identity. She nods toward the monitors. The guy has his hands in everything. His mainframe isn't just a data hub, it's a fortress. Uses it to feed his AI army, control his operations, and monitor people like you. Taking him down means hitting him where it hurts. The mainframe, but that's easier said than done.
You ready to bring your team in and get started? I'm ready. Let's bring everyone in and let's go over the plan. Everyone working towards their strengths.
Pop-Tarts nods sharply, a flicker of approval crossing her face. All right, Axel, let's get your team in here and start strategizing. Time's not on our side if Aaron already knows the tracker's disabled. She taps a command into her console and the heavy steel door slides open again. Light, Ellie, Sparhawk and Jester file in, each of them taking in the chaotic tech haven. Pop-Tart stands, crossing her arms as she addresses the group. All right, listen up. If we're taking on John Aaron, we're doing it smart. Here's the plan. Ellie, you'll tackle his AI defenses. Aaron's mainframe is likely guarded by firewalls and adaptive systems. I need you to find a way to breach them, or at least keep them off our backs long enough for us to get what we need. Light, your EMPs will be critical. You'll take out Aaron's surveillance and any cybernetics his security team relies on. Time it right and we'll have a clear path
please,
to the
I have to see
Sparhawk,
all of the characters.
You're our infiltrator. You'll use the piping and ducts to bypass tight security zones and disable any systems Ellie can't reach.
I think there's also a way to
Jester,
to ask
well, we need
ChatGPT to show me an image.
Even if it's bumpy. Axel, you'll coordinate and keep us on track. And as for me, she grins, a glint of mischief in her eyes. I'll be our wild card. Aaron doesn't know I'm in the game yet, and that's going to give us the edge. She gestures to the monitors, now displaying a rough schematic of Aaron's fortress-like mainframe. This is the layout. Let's walk through it step by step, and then we hit him where it hurts. The team exchanges determined glances, ready to take on the challenge.
Okay, I had an idea that maybe we could put in implants into his next shipment of watermelons. He won't suspect that. Can that be something that gives us an advantage?
Tarts raises an eyebrow, her lips curling into a mischievous
What was that sound?
Using his watermelon obsession against him? Now that's
Grace,
clever,
not
Axel.
evil.
He'd never see it coming. Ellie nods, already calculating. If we can embed implants into the watermelons, maybe trackers or even small data disruption devices, they could act as Trojan horses. Once they're inside his operation, we could use them to disable certain systems or feed false information into his network.
Okay.
Light chimes in, her voice thoughtful. And if I time an EMP pulse just right, it could amplify the implant's effects once they're inside his fortress.
Boom,
That'd give us a serious edge. Grizzly hums approvingly, muttering a soft mechanical rendition of the watermelon crawl under his breath. Pop-Tarts chuckles, tapping on her console. All right, Bubblegum, let's make this work. We'll need to intercept his next shipment and modify it before it gets delivered. He's got a shady deal going with a supplier on the outskirts of the city, some farmer who's happy to turn a blind eye as long as the credits keep flowing. She taps a few commands into her console and a map pops up on one of the monitors, highlighting a location. This is the distribution hub where the shipments get processed before they head to Aaron's mainframe. If we can intercept them there, we can implant the devices and send them on their merry way. Aaron won't suspect a thing. Ellie steps closer, studying the map. We'll need to move quickly and stay quiet. No way Aaron's not monitoring his shipments closely. Light nods, and we'll need to rig those implants perfectly. If they malfunction, Aaron's tech might detect them before they do any damage. Pop-Tarts claps her hands together. All right, team, this is our way in. Axel, looks like your idea is about to make some serious waves. Ready to put this plan into motion?
I'm ready. Let's go. Jester, go get the car. Don't crash into anything. We'll meet you out front.
Jester nods, his monotone voice crackling with determination. Acknowledged. Retrieval of the car in progress. Probability of collision minimal, hopefully. As Jester heads out, Grizzly chuckles softly, muttering a low-pitched hum of "Baby, you can drive my car." Pop-Tarts shakes her head with a smirk, then turns to the group. All right, let's gear up. We've got one shot to pull this off cleanly. Make sure you're ready. Light checks her EMP equipment, Ellie gathers her tools, and Sparhawk hops to a console to chirp approvingly at the map. Pop-Tarts grabs a small device from her desk, tucking it into her jacket. This will help us monitor the implants remotely once they're in the shipment. As the group files out of the room, they find Jester waiting at the curb in the slightly battered vehicle, its engine idling with an unsettling hum. Vehicle ready for transport, Jester announces. Please board responsibly. Ellie raises an eyebrow at Axel, muttering, "Let's hope that minimal probability holds up." The team piles in, their minds focused on the mission ahead. The distribution hub and their chance to outsmart John Aaron awaits.